Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play F1 Manager. And here we are once again with the McLaren, Potter's McLaren. So yes, pretty successful endeavour in Saudi Arabia in the last session. We finished in the points, yes we did indeed. 16 points, fourth in the Constructors after safety car, red flag, crashes and all kinds of mayhem. Albert Park, well, I'd suggest it's probably going to be less dramatic, but you never know, do you? That's the beauty of this sport, you never know. But it's notoriously difficult to pass. I don't know how accurate the game represents such things, but in the real life it's a notoriously difficult track to pass on. I say notoriously difficult. I think Monaco is notoriously difficult. Albert Park is a difficult track to pass on. So qualifying is going to be pretty important. So we'll see how that goes. Let's take a quick look at the potential strategies here before we dive in. So low speed cornering, top speed DRS, and low speed dirty air cornering are recommended. High speed dirty air cornering and high speed cornering classed as crucial. So our car, let's have a quick look at the car's analysis here. High speed for the next race, cornering. Let's have a look at our rank on the grid for that one, 11. So that's our strong point actually. So we should go, technically speaking, could go I suppose, pretty well here. Our high speed cornering may pay dividends. So that's going to be interesting to see. So yeah, that's attributes. It's 25 seconds for a pit stop, average time lost. So again, that kind of is a decent chunk of time. I would reckon a one-stop strategy is probably the best, although there is a potential for a two-stop as well. Medium hard, kind of the norm, isn't it? Really. Compound performance. Have a look at the compound performance. Sure, soft tyres lasting not very long. Not a race tyre by the looks of it, unless there's some sort of really late safety car or red flag perhaps. Yeah, but half a second quicker than the mediums, but yeah, not a race tyre really. And the mediums are about 4/10. Is that right? No, yeah, about 3.5 faster than the hards. So yeah, not that much difference between the medium and hards, to be fair. So I reckon a one stop is going to be the way to go here. Medium onto hard, probably, I would guess. Let's have a look at the previous virtual safety cars and stuff. So we've had, over the past 4 seasons, we've only had 2 races over the past 4 seasons because of COVID and stuff. But one safety car happened once, and one virtual safety car happened once, and then no deployments once each. So it's a 50-50 affair. It's an old school circuit, so it's yeah, some runoff areas, maybe some gravel and grass and stuff. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, one stop more than likely. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip practice like last time, and we should be getting into Q2 fairly comfortably, to be honest with you. So I'm going to skip Q1 unless something dramatic happens, because we should be getting into Q2 quite happily, and we'll pick up qualifying in Q2, where we're battling to get into Q3, which we've been close to in the last race, so it'll be interesting to see, and then we'll obviously dive into the race. So unless something really dramatic happens, it's time to take a pause, and I'll see you for Q2. In fact, bear with me a second. That's a lie. I just advanced the time, and I thought, oh, I forgot to tell you about something. I forgot to tell you about the fact that obviously we've netted a bit of coin over the past couple of races, and time has progressed and all of that. So I thought, you know what, it's time to upgrade the facilities a bit further. So we were already upgrading the design centre from when we first took charge, and the team hub, which now has been completed. So that's just finished, this is what prompted my memory. But we decided to go for some more upgrades to the operational facilities, which are generally a bit cheaper, and we've got plenty of cost gap budget and plenty of budget to do this. So upgrading the boardroom to level 2 give us a bit more race confidence gain, keeping the boards good books hopefully, and improves our team's attractiveness. as if an orange car and orange liveries isn't attractive enough. Hospitality area, we're upgrading that because it's cheap. It gives us a bit more team attractiveness. Could be useful when we're trying to, I don't know, woo some sponsors next season. Maybe pull in a driver, high-profile driver to replace Daniel Ricciardo, possibly. We'll see. Use that attractiveness bonus. And, of course, a functional race weekend functional building, improving our weather forecasting ability by upgrading our weather centre. So 70% accuracy. It should bring us extra 10% gain there. So all of these were relatively cheap. I think it cost less than 4 million combined. So quite happy to upgrade those. We'll upgrade the team hub probably after another couple of races. Get that to level 3 to match the race simulator for the experience gains for those staff members. So inbox, let's have a quick look at that. Team hub has been done. We know that. Car development. Yeah, we know about our car. We're developing. Just give us time. Our front wing's ready in about 25 days. And the financial report. Let's have a look at the finances. Monthly balance. Last 30 days. We made a loss. Spent a lot of money. If we don't spend any money on facilities and stuff or part upgrades, then we get about 4 million a month. So we'll see. But anyway, so there you go. I'll just give you a quick rundown on that. But now, definitely see you. Hopefully no dramas. In Q2.
Sounds like there's been a crash.
Another crash.
Let's take a closer look.
What's going on?
So this was the Aston Martin. They've lost control, and there's the crash.
Okay, so as you can see, folks, I just thought I'd bring you in here for
just what happened out there.
For practice 3 because Sergio Perez wiping himself, Alonso, and Stroll out, as you've just seen there, in well, quite a bad accident. It must be said. Bringing out the virtual safety car in practice 3. Seems those Red Bulls just can't keep their car on the circuit. Verstappen with his misfortune. It's not even. It wasn't even misfortune, was it? With his crash, both in qualifying and in the race. And now Perez's turn to get himself onto the records board. Right, folks, welcome to Q2. We, as expected, got ourselves through. So yeah, let's see what we can muster here in terms of our efforts. So fresh tyres, naturally, for both cars. I have remembered to put the right engines in and gearboxes and stuff. So without further ado, we've got 2 runs here. Let's see if we can do something. Daniel Ricciardo qualified in 10th with Lando down in, I think, in 14th. Their second runs, I actually forgot to put them on to push until they'd got past the first sort of 3 or 4 corners. So the fact that Daniel got 10th was actually very reassuring, considering his best time was set in his first run, and we usually improve in the second. So top 10 could be on the cards here for qualifying. Right, here we are.
Yep, radio's good, drink's good.
So less cars, it's Q2 of course. We'll do the usual thing, and it's Daniel's turn this race to be sent out first. So we shall send him out. Right, so what we'll do is we'll ride on board with Daniel for his hot lap here in Melbourne. So there we go, powering down the pit straight and starting his first hot lap here in Q2. Plenty of open track ahead of him. Kind of, there's a Mercedes which will catch because they're on outlaps, so this could be compromised, but we'll see what happens. So turns 1 and 2, they're coming down to turn 3, a sharp third gear corner there, right, then another sharpish left as we swing round, coming up to the end of the first timing sector. And that is a 27.1 for old Daniel. Now, this part of the circuit has been reprofiled. There was a chicane right about here previously, but now it's just one sweeping right and left, probably to promote overtaking, I would assume. And then we've got a very high-speed chicane here. Well, left-right complex mainly. There's a bit of DRS, I believe, down this straight in the race too. And then we've got 2 double right-hander here. So first right-hander, third gear down, coming up to a slightly quicker right-hander, leading into the very slow left-hander, which is down into third gear, it looks like there. And then this is the final turn 16 of the track, powering down DRS Open and across the line in a 1:20.7, which matched his best Q1 time. So not too shabby there for Daniel.
Okay, keep looking after the time.
As we go,
If you can, push.
full attack,
Confirm.
full attack, full attack. We're right on board. Here we go. Down the pit straight, and a hot lap now on board with Lando Norris. Plenty of clear air for him, so this is perfect. So let's see what he can do. His first Q1 lap was compromised by traffic. The second one compromised by the fact we forgot to put the pushing on. So this will hopefully be his best qualifying lap of qualifying so far. So here we go. End of the first sector. It's a green time. It's his first time. It won't be purple, of course. I'm sure that turn has also been reprofiled slightly to make it faster than it used to be. From my last time playing an F1 game on this circuit, the track has been reprofiled a little bit. So anyway, coming down now to the back end, sector 2 has already been done, a 19.9, quite a shortish second sector on this track, long final sector with some some decent slow speed corners. There we go, coming round now, 15, the Prost grandstand, and 16, down the straight we come. So Lando Norris crossing the line. Okay, 5th position and a 10th, or just less than a 10th, just shy of a 10th quicker than Danny Rick. So two decent times there. Right, Ricciardo. Aggressive.
Pushed.
Push.
Okay.
And deploy. Norris coming round as well. Attack. Push. Deploy. And here we go.
Maximum pace.
Maximum pace. We'll see their splits.
Yeah, confirm.
Make sure, see if they're going quicker. We'll see the splits of the other people. So we're looking at splits of people below us, really. Bottas looking like he may improve, but not by much. One sector faster, one sector slower. Ocon the same. Gasly the same. Bottas does go faster. A better second lap for Bottas. Is that track evolution, or we don't know? We'll have to wait to see. Daniel is coming up to the end of the first timing sector. He's faster, so good first sector for Daniel. Joe has gone slower. Schumacher's slower, but Russell's looking like he's going to improve. Magnussen and Tsunoda both looking like they're going to improve. So we are going to be right on the cusp here. Lando is faster too. So this is riding on board Daniel. Oh, well, no, we're following Daniel. Now we're on board Daniel. No, we're not. I pressed the wrong key. There we go. So Ricciardo has fallen into the danger zone. Norris, look at that. Norris or Ricciardo, one of the two, if not both, if they both improve, are guaranteed to get into Q3 here. All the other cars have finished. So here we go. Ricciardo's the first across the line. Will he improve to knock his teammate down into the danger zone? No, he doesn't. Which means that Lando Norris is improved his time slightly, but he gets into Q3. 10th and 11th. I don't think he'll be getting much higher than 10th in Q3, but the fact of the matter is, for the first time this season, as the darkness descends upon me, yes, we have one of our cars through to Q3. Daniel just missing out, but he was less than a 10th away from Lando's time there, so much improved this time, but still for the qualifying behind him. For the third race in a row, qualifies behind his teammate Lando into that coveted Q3 spot. So gives us only one car to worry about. Now in Q3 we actually get one set of softs given to us purely for Q3. There's no soft tyre locked out for the race, but we shouldn't anticipate using a soft tyre for the race unless there's any incidents. So what we're going to do is we'll leave this tyre as our potential race tyre if we need it. We're going to go on to this tyre as our first qualifying run in suboptimal conditions, and then for our second final run on optimal, hopefully more warm in rubbered in conditions, we'll use the best tyre there. So first run on this tyre, let's get him out. 2 runs for Q3. So the first time we've made it to Q3. Okay, signs of improvement.
Radio check, please, Lando.
It's just signs of the fact that the track suits our car, really. But straight away, an Alpine is going out, and that'll be the Alpine of Ocon because Alonso didn't make it. Coming round, loads of cars coming out now. This is going to be a really compromised lap. I was anticipating all the cars coming out roughly at the same time, but clearly some people have waited just that little bit longer. So we'll ride on board to see or not, to see and get a feel for whether or not we've been compromised. But here we go, down the pit straight, full beans is on, ERS deploy. Here we go. We've got 2 Mercedes right in the way. This is going to be a severely compromised lap, I feel, and if it is, we're just going to have to bite the bullet and come straight back in, I think. Yeah, okay, coming down into, is that turn 3? 3 and 4? 3 and 4, I believe. Here we go. We've got 2 Mercedes coming up. We might catch them on this next straight bit here. Well, it's kind of a straight, it's flat out, there's a few corners. There we go. This wasn't compromised. Good here. And this isn't compromised either. In fact, we might get a bit of slipstream if we're clever about it. Right, that's fine. We're not compromised. We're still good to go. Full blast. Full blast here into the very high speed left and right. So many things can go horrendously wrong there if you're not careful. I think, is it Sainz that spun there first in this race in the real life season? I think it was. Right, turning right, 3rd gear. Right again. 5th gear. Coming to slow 3rd gear left-hander. And then the final right as we then open up the DRS, put the pedal to the metal and go blasting down, looking to beat a 120.5-ish, hopefully? 1.3 seconds, what's that? 120.7. Our tyres though, as you saw there, was 68% worn. Pretty worn tyres, so we are hoping to improve that with some fresh tyres, but we've got ourselves the banker lap that we need to at least put us on the score. So we've burnt off a bit more fuel because we've pushed the entire way round. We are going to use deploy. I'm hoping that we might still do it. I mean, we've got half battery. We'll see. Anyway, second flying lap. Everybody is on a flyer. This is where it matters now because we have everybody out. Q3 vying for their positions here, and currently Sainz is on provisional pole. Sainz is on provisional pole with Leclerc second, Verstappen third, Hamilton up in 4th, ahead of Perez, Russell in 6th at the moment, Ocon, and then Norris, Gasly, and Bottas. Of course, everybody on their flyers. First man to be crossing the line will be, looks like Russell, and will he improve his time? Lando's faster in the first sector, so Russell crossing the line. Is he going to move up? No. Leclerc doesn't move ahead of Sainz. Sainz still on provisional pole. The man that might be able to knock him off is going to be Verstappen. Ferrari front row lockout so far. Will Verstappen improve his time? He crosses the line now, and he hasn't improved his time. Bottas has improved his, which puts us down to 9th. Gasly hasn't improved enough to knock us off now, so we're guaranteed 9th, but can we contend? We've lost ERS. It's looking unlikely. I did say that we're going to run out right on the home straight, which is not ideal. Crosses the line, but puts us above Ocon. Had we not caught up, we may well have been able to finish above Bottas and even challenge Russell. But nonetheless, 8th position. 8th position with Lando Norris is an absolutely fantastic performance. And yeah, we can't really grumble, can we? So there is the top 10, as you see it here. Success for McLaren, taking that good momentum from the Saudi Arabia escapades and exploits, taking that momentum into qualifying here in Australia. Fantastic result. And bodes well for the race, doesn't it? Bodes very well for the race.
Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
McLaren did well during qualifying. They maximized their potential and are in a good position for the race today. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. The weather is very overcast here, and teams are staring at the sky, watching for the first sign of rain.
Now, wouldn't this be something?
Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
Wouldn't this be something
In
if
any
we
case,
got some
Melbourne is
rain?
ready, and so are we. So strap yourselves in for the Australian Grand Prix.
Okay, so it's looking overcast, but I don't think there was a forecast of rain. No, just cloud. I thought we were going to get any rain here. I doubt it. Right, okay, chaps. I am going to record this race now, but I'm going to end the recording because I want to split into two because it would be far too long otherwise. So stand by, I'll be back in a second. Right, back again there with a fresh recording to help split this video into two so that it makes it a lot less painful to edit. But anyway, here we are. Yes, just setting ourselves up for the race. Let's have a look at the strategies to start with. Now, my strategy is going to be medium onto hard, which I think is going to be the optimal strategy. But look at that. Even medium onto hard is going to be quite a challenge because, as you can see, medium tyre on this kind of pace means that we'll just about be able to pit as the tyres are falling off the cliff. But when we put the hards on, look at that. Below this line, which means that we're going to have to do some tyre conservation to make this this one-stop strategy work. Yeah, look, if we go to conservation style pace, it gives us a bit of a give there. Likewise, if we conserve on the hard, it gets us to the end. Now, the question would be, is going around this track and doing a one-stop, but being very dainty on the tyres, thus not going as quickly as you can, going to be faster overall than doing a two-stop with pushing? Well, that's the question, folks. I don't know the answer to it. And I think we can make it work like that. I think we can make it work like that. So the time for this race strategy is a 1:25.18. A 1:25.18 for the two-stop, compared to the conservative 1:25.35. We're talking like the difference between 18 seconds difference between the two strategies. I'm quite tempted to split them. I think the two-stop is probably less optimal, but and Daniel's the only one of the two that's got a brand new set of softs. So I'm going to try. This could go horribly wrong, but he's out of the points at the moment, so we're going to try, and he's got a fresh set of softs, so we're going to try a bit different with him. So that's a 1:25.17 approximately, this strategy. So medium, then onto hard, then finishing off on the softs. But we have to be careful with this tyre wear, so any safety cars or whatever could help us this strategy out. Virtual safety cars, again, could help this strategy out. But we're going to try a two-stop strategy for Daniel. Got to be very careful with how that one's managed. But for Lando, a little bit more of a straightforward one. It's a straight up one stop. But again, we have to be careful with him because we have to conserve to make it to the end on the one stop strategy. So we'll stick with the more, shall we say, conventional strategy with him. It'd be interesting to see if anybody else does any two stops here, and pushing, of course. So there we go, folks. Strategies have been deduced, which means it's time for us to dive in to today's race. Points are on the table, unless we cock it up. No pressure, Potter. No pressure.
A somewhat overcast day for the drivers who've now taken position on the grid. And there's Lando Norris. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners.
Does he know what he's talking about, this guy, or what?
And behind them, it's Ricciardo. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish.
We qualified in 7th with the car
Teams are ready to go.
that's deemed to be in the bottom 3. You know what I mean, Crofty?
Get ready for the
We qualified
Australian
7th, mate.
Grand Prix.
Right, the lights are on, and we're about to get racing here in Melbourne.
And it's lights out.
We're off.
And away we go.
Norris, let's get on board. Let's get on board with Norris here as he powers his way into turn number 1. Is he going to make any positions? We're going in between the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo. Oh, he got squeezed out. That was a day. Oh, God. That did not look like it was going to end well, and it didn't. But thankfully,
Flying now.
Thankfully,
the
we've
replay.
kept our wing.
Now look at this.
And look at
Daniel
Daniel
here.
making up 2 positions. Here we go. Let's have a look at this one. Daniel Ricciardo, who's he passing? He's look at that.
Takes a lot of skill
Up the
to
inside.
move like that.
It looks like up the inside of Perez, or he's up the inside of Perez as we speak. Shut up, let's see what's going on. The drama here. We're up to 9th position. And look at that, we're bang behind. We're bang behind Lando Norris. Good job indeed. 7th and 8th. Ricciardo storming up the grid there. Brilliant start for him. Well done.
Gain a position.
And he overtook
Let's have a
Ocon
look.
as well.
Now just take a look at the McLaren.
Look at that, round the outside, sweeping through. Ocon looks like he's on the hard tyre.
And there they go, moving up a position in the pack.
Could be wrong, but
The team watching on.
the team really happy about Daniel Ricciardo's escapades at the moment. Right, we're just going to take a quick pause just so that we can get an idea for the tyre strategies. Okay, 2, 3. Okay, we've got 3 people on hard and the rest of us on medium. So, yeah, all doing very similar strategies. Not like Saudi Arabia where there was a bit of mixture, which does lead to a bit of excitement. But anyway, let's get to the interval and let's keep going. Keeping on push for now. I think Norris is going to struggle to keep up with Russell, so we're going to stick in his DRS range. We're going to have to keep pushing. But then, of course, we know the situation with the tyres.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Let me just get my head around Daniel's. Daniel can afford to push a little bit more than we can because he's coming in a little bit sooner, isn't he? He can afford to come in a bit sooner, if needs be. But for now, we'll just get the guys into their rhythms. So we've got off to a pretty cracking start with both cars. No DRS until lap 3, so it's just a case of seeing if we can maintain keeping up here. If we can keep up with Russell. Could be tough, but you never know. We qualified well, so we have got the raw pace in this car at this circuit. So we'll stick with the action until we get to the DRS being open, and then if we get into a processional type situation like before, we'll cut to when things start to kick off. But still, Sainz in first, Leclerc in second. This is the championship leader winning the first 2 races, looking to make it 3 on the bounce. Verstappen in third, and Hamilton doing pretty well today in 4th position. Just a second behind Verstappen. Bottas, 5th position. Russell in 6th. And then, of course, the 2 McLaren boys, Norris and Ricciardo, 7th and 8th. Ocon looking pretty close to Daniel there. Pretty close, but remember what I said. This is a difficult track to pass on. Best opportunity is probably going to be down one of the DRS zones. If not the only opportunity, really. So coming up to cross the line to start lap 3, we should get the DRS message.
DRS enabled.
DRS enabled, and we're still within the zone. So this is looking like we are indeed having the race pace we need to stick with the car in front, which is of Mercedes. No mean feat here, it's doing pretty well. So yeah, looking good, looking good. We'll ride on board for another lap or 2, but I can see us having to skip forward a little bit, because this is going to be quite a processional affair, at least until we start to get towards the first pit stops. There's not much going on down the field. I mean, the closest split time is here. This is Albon on the back of Stroll. But when it comes to anything a bit closer to the top of the field, cars are looking pretty decently spread. We've got the DRS on Russell, but of course he's got the DRS on Bottas. And we have Perez obviously out of position. Not the best of qualifying, not the best of starts, and he's down in 10th, so his race currently being compromised. Well, just be careful with Ricciardo here. We're not giving him engine mode. Oh, we were giving Lando engine mode there. Didn't realise.
Save fuel from now, please save fuel from now.
Didn't realise. We are out of the DRS of our teammate, which could be a problem. Oh, back into it again. There we go. It's just about okay. But it's going to be close. It is going to be close, and we are on the back of the Bottas train. Bottas out of DRS from Hamilton, which means that now he's holding up affairs with Russell behind and us waiting to pounce perhaps on both of them. Who knows? But yeah, Daniel is the one that's struggling to keep pace at the moment. But it's fine. We can afford to push a little bit with him. Lando, of course, was on push by mistake, hence why he's going to have to do some fuel saving a little bit later now. But let's see if we can just get ourselves onto the back of Norris.
Use the pace now.
Let's just want to get a little bit closer here. Help us, tow us along. Don't want to lose too much ground here. Will put us at great risk of being passed from cars behind us that get the DRS on us. So we need to maintain this gap. So Ricciardo giving the instruction to put his foot down a little bit, and he's doing a good job at doing that. So here we go, onto the pit straights, and let's have a look at Norris. Yep, we're definitely in, nice and easy, and should give us a nice tow down here. Right, Norris, Russell battling with Bottas. We're getting a good view of this prime position. We're just about clinging on, and I mean, do we expect Bottas to be able to hold this position? Who knows? He's doing a good job of defending so far. As I said, difficult track to pass on. Hamilton dropping back from Verstappen. 3.3 seconds is the gap now on lap 5. It's the usual affair. Now we've just seen it live, folks. Leclerc passing his teammate as Verstappen watches on from 3rd position. Side by side, Sainz is back ahead now. The two Ferraris going at it, hammer and tongs. You don't want to be going side by side. They're chopping across, almost taking his teammate's wing off as we come down into the corner, and still side by side, and Verstappen is just waiting to pounce on both of them. Look at this action. They've been side by side for almost the entire lap. Who's going to get there? Who's going to come out ahead? It might be Verstappen at this rate. Look at this. The first 3 cars separated by less than half a second between them. It's recipe for disaster. It's recipe for disaster here. I can see an incident occurring. Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen battling hard, battling very hard, keeping it fair and clean though. This is definitely going to be something worth keeping an eye on later in the race. But look at this. We have the Bottas train collecting more carriages, but Russell has finally made it past, and has he? Bottas still not giving up the fight. Look at this. Not giving up the fight. He's, oh, you're not passing me today, he says. Former Mercedes man, current Mercedes man, the man that replaced him, of course. It'd be bittersweet if Bottas can make this stick and finish ahead of him in the race, wouldn't it? We've got issues. Ricciardo having to defend from Ocon, but we should be fine. We should be fine. As long as we stick in the DRS train, we should be fine. So this race is going to be won on strategy more than likely. Which does... A car has spun! A car has spun! Anybody dropping through the field like a stone? Ocon. It looks like Ocon.
Those ahead.
Let's see what happened there. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon.
Directly behind us. Off he goes.
They spun the car.
Off he
What a
goes.
disaster.
One potential rival out of action. It's one less car to worry about for now, isn't it?
What a shame.
He could have been battling us for points, so that's not a bad result for us at all. So we have yellow flags, no safety car there. He'll be back. He'll get back onto the back of the field once the cars have passed, and indeed he does. So the first three still Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen in that order. Line astern, Indian file, and yeah, Russell getting ahead of Bottas, but Bottas is still managing to maintain a less than a second gap to Russell, so Russell not streaking off into the distance. So yeah, as we can see, it is quite processional. We're on lap 7, so we will cut to when something happens, and it might be a big cut at this rate, but we'll see. Back soon. Okay, so lap 11, we haven't advanced too much further. Of course, because Russell doesn't have the DRS and Bottas, we could attack him with some ERS and things, but we're not going to do that because we won't be able to pull away from him, and it'll just be a squabble. So Perez has made it past Gasly, as has Magnussen, funnily enough. So Perez, of course, in the Red Bull, will start to cruise towards the back of Ricciardo. So he has been released. So we'll see what happens when he catches, but we're anticipating him being able to get past, possibly. And it's far too early to start having Ricciardo hold him up. So we'll see what he does when he approaches, but we're anticipating it being a pass or two. But anyway, back soon. Side-by-side action here. Lap 12. It's the Ferraris of Sainz and Leclerc yet again. This is going to get... Oh, hang on. Hang on a second. We are harassing Mr. Russell. We're not giving him any extra power modes here, but this is all to do with the DRS. And is he going to get past? I don't think so. Gasly has got back past Perez. So there's a few little squabbles going on here. We've got the Gasly-Perez situation, we've got Russell and Norris, and Russell has made it stick, but has he? Has he made it stick? I may have spoken too soon. Norris is a half a car with the head.
Good job.
But is he going to make it stick as we're now approaching the fast left-hander? Russell will have the inside line, will have the inside on the exit. Here we go. Side by side. Oh. We could put the engine mode up, but we'll just let him fight it out. And finally we make it stick.
Okay, mate, nice work.
There we go, nice work. Up to P6, 2.7 behind Bottas.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
We saw it live, Crofty, we saw it live. Right, here we go. So, yeah. Leclerc passing Sainz, who's been ahead for most of this race, but this will carry on. At least, at the very least, until the first pit stops, and Russell back past due to the DRS on the pit straight. We anticipated it.
Let's get back in the rhythm now.
Hence why we're not fighting it. Anyway, we could be at this for some time, so unless something major happens, we'll cut to the next bit of drama. Okay, I thought I'd just nothing's happening really, but I thought I'd just check in basically to say, because it's really difficult to pass on this track, I think two-stopping with Daniel, even if he put a fresh set of softs on him, he's more than likely going to have to start passing cars in his final stint. And as you're seeing, it's very difficult to pass on this track. So I don't think it's going to be a good strategy. So I may switch him to a one-stop too. I'll see how we feel when we get closer to the window, but slapping a set of softs and hoping him to pass some cars to get a decent position could be very tricky. So, but yeah, we'll play it by ear, but I think we're going to switch Daniel to a one-stop here. Especially seeing as he's made up some decent places from the start. We don't want to throw those away with an extra stop if we don't need to. So yeah. Back in a bit. We've got a lock-up somewhere. Oh, we've got a safety car out. Hang on, hang on. Looks like Mick Schumacher has caused an issue. Stand by your beds, folks. Stand by your beds.
That just crashed. We can take a look now. Now just focus on the Haas.
So Mick Schumacher looks like he's going to lock up and plough straight into the back of a Haas.
And that's a big smash.
Oh,
Never
jeez.
felt that.
I mean, this runoff area has seen many an incident over the years. Martin Brundle being one of the most notable, and also Alonso having an incident there too. Cars flipping over and all sorts.
Okay, so keep the delta close to 0.
Okay, so we've got a safety car situation. Safety car situation, which is going to help with extending the tyre life of the mediums. We can't come in to change our tyres now because we're too early. So if we do come in now, it'd be great for it would be great, but it would be two stopping, but it put you right at the back of the train. So although it's a safety car, and sometimes it's great to take opportunities for pit stops and cheap pit stops, in this circumstance, we can't afford to pit. We can't afford to pit. So unless we have like a really massive gap behind us, nah, we're going to feed out too far back. Okay, so we will, however, just see what the leaders are doing.
Schumacher had an incident.
Are we pitting?
Yeah.
Sainz is not pitting. Leclerc is pitting, and it'd be interesting to see what Leclerc goes on to. We've got the Red Bulls are pitting. They're putting the hards on. So what are they going to do? This is interesting. Again, we're pausing it. We don't have this luxury in real life. I mean, we're literally passing the pit line now. We would have to make a snap decision. Are we bringing in or not? Maybe split the strategies. I can't see this being a good I can't see this being a good decision because these guys are going to have to pit again. These hards will not make it to the end. I mean, the likes of Leclerc are going to have the pace to repass anyway. But like Hamilton, for example, we should use this to extend our fuel, extend our tyre life, stick with the plan. After the safety car is done, push these tyres as hard as they'll go, come in, stick a set of hards on as planned, and go to the end. One stop. But then on the flip side of that, these guys, even though they have to pit again, will have that pit stop gap because we'll have pit under regular conditions and they've pit under safety car conditions. But they will fall right to the back of the grid, so they're going to get hampered in traffic as well. So they're going to get stuck back in traffic, which will halt their progress to make the time that they need to make this work. No, this is a bad strategy. We're going to stick out. We're going to stick out with both cars. We're not splitting them. I think this is the best strategy. He's staying out. Let's see what Bottas does. He's staying out. Russell and Mercedes splitting their strategy. No, Mercedes are rolling the dice and going all in here. No, we're sticking out. We're conserving. We'll harvest. Don't forget to harvest.
Focus on recharge. Understood.
Okay. Quite a few, let's say quite a few. More people staying out than pitting, which I think should tell you all you need to know about, which is the better strategy. I don't know why both Mercedes are risking it. It seems a bit odd to me, but the AI do some strange things. But yeah, safety car is out. Some people are pitting, some people aren't, but in my view, and I'm not a strategic genius here, but in my view, pitting here is a mistake. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip to the safety car coming in. We'll all be bunched up, and well, it'll be action stations again. Okay.
So safety car is in this lap.
Safety car in this lap. So let's get our tyres nice and hot. Get our engine mode nice and hot. Let's put we'll stick to neutral though. We won't go too mad. Just get us off the safety car restart as quickly as possible. So we are up to 5th and 6th now, with some of our nearest rivals, Hamilton, pitting. So he's on fresh tyres, and he's directly behind us. So he's not fallen too far behind in the traffic there. He's put on a set of hards. Won't take him to the end, so he's going to have to come in again, maybe stick on another set of mediums, and then push to the end. We've got Russell in too. He's a bit further back, so we can see who's pitted from this graphic. Leclerc's pitted, but he's come out right into the heart you know, right into a third position. So he's not lost anything really. So it is almost like a free pit stop for him. So he's out and he's lost 2 positions, but he's right on the tail. So interesting. So we've got we've got Hamilton on fresh tyres behind us. That won't last. That won't last long. Magnussen on used mediums. So okay, let's get this show back on the road here. This is going to be interesting to see how it pans out. We've got a bit of spice.
And one final reminder: no overtaking before the line.
No overtaking before the line. There's a safety car. I think the safety. There used to be a safety car line. I think the line now is the pit straight. So after the safety car goes in, you can't pass another car until you pass the pit line. That in itself leads to all kinds of shenanigans. But anyway, we're green light. We're go. We've all passed the line. We're back to racing. 5th and 6th position. We'll stay on board for the first couple of laps after the restart to see how things fan out here. Danny Rick with a freshly booted Hamilton behind him, and back to standard at this point. The tyres should be warmed up a little bit now, and we're going to save our fuel, save our tyre pushing for when we're in a bit of clear air and we need it. For now, we can hopefully still stick.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Onto the back of Bottas, who hasn't pitted either, so he's still on used mediums. Look at that. Danny Rick. He's got Hamilton right behind him. Even on those fresh tyres, struggling to make an indentation. We will give Daniel a push order here, down the pit straight. We're going to extend the strategies, so we'll do it now. Bear with me. No DRS just yet because of the safety car. So giving Ricciardo the engine mode to try to stick with Norris. Norris just about sticking with Bottas. Bottas falling away from the Ferraris as you would expect. Leclerc not making an indentation just yet on Verstappen on his fresh tyres, but that will probably come when the DRS is activated. Norris just about falling away. Give him a little bit of push, maybe even a bit of tyre pushing. We can't afford to fall if we can stick within that DRS range. And also give him
Maximum pace.
a bit of deploy as well. We've got a fully charged ERS. I'm going to give both of them deploy for half a lap.
DRS enabled, DRS enabled.
DRS enabled. There we go. We're within that second, just about within that second, but the detection point for this DRS is at the end of the lap. It's a double DRS zone, which means one detection point, but two bursts of it. I think it used to be the case anyway. I don't know if it still is, but it used to be. Right, Norris is within that second now. It's right on board, get a bit of a feel. There we go. So we should get DRS on the back straight. Ricciardo is struggling to keep up with Norris here. So we're going to go balanced. We're just going to let it play out. Hamilton passes us, it's not a problem. Hamilton's on fresher tyres anyway. And then we'll go standard with these standard. With Norris, who is within the zone of Bottas, which is all we need to stay within. Right, we've got Hamilton right on the back of Norris. DRS is open. not got the DRS on Bottas. We just missed it by a whisker. So this looks like Hamilton is going to be passing us very shortly. Bottas showing a little bit too much pace for us at the moment to stick with him. And Magnussen has got past Ricciardo. Look at this, he's come from a decent way back to get this move done. Fair enough. Fair enough. Don't worry, we're playing the long game, folks. We're playing the long game here. We're playing the long game.
The team are really...
To be fair, I didn't expect him to get past there, but hey. Right, Norris in fourth. On the track at the moment. Pit stops still to be made. Expecting Hamilton to whiz past probably on the pit straight. You can see the strategy view. Yeah, we've got enough tyre life to extend even further. Trying to extend so we've got a bit more flexibility on the hard tyre really with both cars. So yeah, as I said, it is a bit of a long game that we are playing here, but hopefully will benefit us in the long run. We hope so. We've still got some fuel to push. We've still got some tyre life that we could use if needs be. And Hamilton passing Norris.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
In a place that's not usually a place you would pass on.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Okay, so Bottas, Sainz pitting, Magnussen pitting, a lot of people pitting now, but of course we are trying to extend, and we've got Russell on the back of Ricciardo. This is going to get a little bit messy as we try to figure out what is happening with the strategies, with the pit stops, but yeah, we're going to stick with our idea, stick with our goal, stick with our plan. Obviously, we are at risk of being undercut by a few cars, but we're hoping that the extra tyre life that we get from this is going to benefit us. We'll see. Again, it all kind of boils down to being a track that you can't overtake on, because technically speaking, undercutting on a track like this, where it's difficult to overtake, is preferable to extending, because even if you extend and get a bit of extra tyre life towards the back end, you're not going to make that work for you because you're going to struggle to pass. So, you know, in hindsight, maybe we should just have come in and conserve the tyres for the last stint. But you never know, if we extend and keep going, we could get another safety car right now, would be useful. But anyway, we'll see, we'll carry on. I think we've just about levelled out. Russell's probably going to pass Ricciardo right on the straight. We'll watch it happen, and then we'll see what happens when we come into the pits. Russell blasting down, but not making too many inroads here. No, not really. Right, we're coming in pretty sharpish, so now we're going to go aggressive with both cars.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Take the life out of the tyres if you can now. And even give them some push.
We don't want to lose too much time.
Even give them some push as we put the hammer down now. It's important that we get our cars out ahead of as many cars as possible. We expected this to happen. It happened.
Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell.
Happened right here, around the outside of turn 3.
Goodness me.
But
there they go.
done deal. Not to worry about. That's not our race. Although technically speaking, we were keeping pace with Russell with Norris, so perhaps it might have been our race. Maybe we should start holding some cars up or something. But anyway, yes, we're putting the hammer down. We're putting the hammer down, taking us to the pit window. Well, I think Norris will be coming in not this lap, but next lap, which will be lap 25. We'll take Daniel in on lap 26. Makes me think might need to just eke out a little bit more of these tyres for a second.
Okay, keep looking after the tyre.
Right, so Norris
blasting
now. This is Norris's coming in next lap. Let's get it ready. Let's get it ready. Right, set of hards. Pit this lap coming in. Set of hards.
Box this lap.
Yeah, confirm. Happy to box at the end.
Ignore that. Taking Daniel in lap afterwards. Of course, we can't bring him in the same lap because the gap isn't big enough. But he is actually over the back of Russell. He's not. Russell hasn't driven off as quite as quick as we might have thought, but yeah, just about right. So here comes Norris, putting his foot down on his in lap, pushing as hard as he can. It's imperative we get out ahead of as many cars as possible. Passing them will be difficult. Ricardo defending against Perez. Sticking ahead of Perez. Right, here comes Norris. Please, for the heavens, drive into the pits. Ricardo, we have to make sure that we state that we want to extend. More option. Oh, hang on. Hang on just a second. Hang on. Maybe I've left this too soon here. We want to... Norris is also pitting. We're locked into this, you know. We're locked into this. We're locked in. Unless I refuse to pick a tyre. Okay, if I don't pick a tyre, will he still come in? Oh, don't tell me, please. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Okay, understood.
Okay, he's staying out. He's staying out.
Just remind you to use the pit limiter.
Still not 100% with this damn pit situation. Right, now we bring him in. Now you're boxing. Now you're boxing. Take the life out of the tyres. Full beans. Sticking with Norris now to see where he comes out. Have we screwed him by extending here?
We'll box this lap. Box this lap.
He's in 9th. He's in 10th. Anybody else to box ahead of us? Sonoda. Yeah, this is all about longevity. We're down in 13th now. This is a longevity-based strategy. I'm still debating whether we've done the right thing here. We've come out in 13th. We've got Sonoda definitely to pits. We'll be ahead of him. Ricardo obviously will be ahead of him. So that's 11th. Latifi. In 11th. Wow. Pitting under the safety car clearly helped him. But he's not going to make it to the end. So this is what I'm saying. Some of these cars that pit under the safety car aren't going to make it to the end. Perez also too. So we're going to gain places towards the... Oh, the sun is blinding. They're gonna struggle to make it to the end. So although it looks like we're in 13th, there's still definitely
big lifts.
Still definitely opportunities later in this race. Alonso is on very warm hards. He's definitely going to have to pit again, so we should pull away from him quite happily. Bottas is the car ahead of us. He's got slightly older tyres. He'll be catching Latifi pretty quickly. So, you know what? I'm still comfortable with this. I'm still comfortable with this strategy. Okay, so nice Daniel's turn. Fresh set of hards. We've definitely pitted. It says pitting this lap, so hopefully, look at this. He's holding the cars up. His tyres are falling off a cliff right now. He's extended as long as he possibly can. Okay, in he comes.
Copy, understood.
Norris will be the car that passes him. Probably Alonso too. Magnussen too. We're gonna have, yeah, he's gonna fall behind that little pack, unfortunately. I would imagine. Yeah, here we go. Is he going to get out ahead of those two? Not quite. Oh, he is. Oh, is he? Oh, he is. And we're going to give him the push, get his tyres warmed up, fresh boots. Okay, that's worked out pretty damn spiffing, I've got to say. That has worked out pretty well. Give him the engine mode. Don't forget, I think Magnussen is on a slightly worn. Oh no, fresh tyres. So this is actually a proper battle here. We don't want to take the life out of the tyres for Ricciardo. Let's have a look at the strategy. Does it say we're going to make it to the end here on these? Pretty much. If we maintain a middle of the road push order, we should make it to the end quite comfortably. But could be some VSCs, could be some safety cars that might get us a bit of extra longevity. If not, we've still got enough to make it to the end. Still waiting for other cars to pass, to pit rather. But I'm going to need to pit because their tyre life is not. Tsunoda, the last car to pit, we should be passing him.
Safety car deployed, safety car deployed.
Safety car deployed.
Okay, drive to the Delta, drive to the Delta.
Which is great for us because it extends us, but it also helps those cars that came in for hard tyres early. Still might not be enough to help them to extend their tyres long enough to go to the end, but it does help them a little bit. Right, what's happened and what's brought this safety car down? Clearly we're not pitting in the safety car because we have already just pit. If this safety car came out 3 laps sooner, it'd have been marvellous for us. One person who is really going to benefit from this, the one man that is pitting right now, Tsunoda. Because everybody has to slow down. Let's hope that we can pass him. Yeah, we can pass him, it's fine. Alright folks, we've got another safety car. We're not seeing what's brought out this safety car just yet.
Tsunoda boxed.
That's almost put him in front of Daniel. You see how much time he made up from that safety car? And pitting under slower car conditions, or race conditions. He's put him right on the back on a fresh set of mediums. Onto the pack. Almost getting ahead of old Ricciardo. That would have been quite catastrophic if that had happened. Right, again, we're going to be in the mire, in the procession, so we're going to go to the end of the safety car period. Safety car in this lap. You heard it here first, folks. And once again, giving the drivers
If you can, push.
the push orders.
Need to push.
Yep, understood.
So currently in 11th and 12th, but there is still some shake-ups to be had here.
Recharge off if you want
Still
to.
some cars on those used hards are unlikely to make it to the end, and they're going to have to pit under full race conditions now. Now that the pack has been bunched up, makes it more likely that we're going to leapfrog them. So this is actually pretty good for us.
Recharge off.
So here we go, recharge off,
All good.
full pedal to the metal. We've got Latifi in front of us, who should be dispatched hopefully quickly enough. And then it's back onto the hunting of Bottas, but we'll give them a little bit of extra engine mode and extra tyre mode because we do now have, of course, the benefits of conserving our tyres under that safety car period, so we can afford to push a little bit more. We don't want to take too much life out, but certainly whilst we get our bearings, that extra engine mode and tyre pushing will be beneficial. Can we get past him if we deploy down the straight here? Here we go, let's see. Because he's going to be holding us up massively, is this Williams. He's trying to defend, but he shouldn't be able to. We're sweeping down the outside. We've still got the deployment. Have we passed him?
Nice job.
Yes, we have. Let's go. Balanced.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Neutral. For now, Ricciardo. We now focus on Ricciardo to see if he can use a bit of deployment down this straight and get past
Use deploy.
as quickly as possible. All over the back of him like a rash. There we go. So, yeah. Oh, false. Oh, he's cut us off a little bit there. Late brake. Out brake. Out brake around the outside. Same situation. Same situation, neutral, and that should be that job done too. So Ricciardo ahead of Latifi now as well. So Norris on the back of Bottas and showing good pace.
McLaren gain a position.
Showing good pace on these tyres. We're not going to take any life out of them just yet.
DRS enabled.
Let's have a look. Bottas trying to get past. He has got past, which puts us right behind Mick Schumacher, which means that we're now going to try to see if we can manoeuvre our way past Mick Schumacher. But the likelihood is that we're going to have to wait for him to get further than a second back from Bottas for us to pounce on him.
Pace.
I think aggressive and push without deployment will be enough here. So just bear with me. Ocon has passed Magnussen. No, Latifi has lost 2 positions. So Ocon is now closing onto the back of Daniel Ricciardo. Ocon's tyres. Yeah, not bad. And that is Lando Norris ahead. Which now it's our turn.
They make nice work.
And now we're going to just use a bit of deployment to get back onto the back of Bottas here. So we missed it. We missed the overtake properly. So let's watch it.
Take a look at the McLaren.
Down the back straight. It's not a straight, is it really? But it's flat out at least, and round swooping around the outside. Seems to be a popular passing spot here. And gets the job done with minimal of fuss, which is exactly what we need as we now make our way towards Bottas, closing the gap, giving him some deployment. That should be. Ooh. Schumacher just clinging onto our DRS there. So that's just hampering Daniel a little bit. Meanwhile, Daniel will maintain push and aggressive until we get past this Haas. We got Ocon coming behind us, not overly quickly, but nonetheless he is making inroads. We're going to struggle to get around the... well, we might not. We might do the usual manoeuvre. Round the outside. Yeah, round the outside. 2 trailer park girls go around the outside. Right, God, those were the days. Late 90s, right? Eminem. Okay, so Danny's passed as well. So 9th and 10th.
With a great overtake.
9th and 10th. This is looking not too shabby. We're going to give Daniel the push order now, and also a bit of
Let's see what pace you can do
to catch up to Norris if we can. See if we can get back into that 1 second to help us.
Overtake button.
Might be difficult, but we'll see. Oh, look at this. We've now got Bottas passing Gasly. Is Gasly on Warn? Yes, Gasly's on Warn. So that means that Gasly is our next target. Daniel closing that gap. Go neutral. Keep closing that gap. Right, here we go. Gasly has DRS, so we'll have to bide our time a little bit until Bottas breaks it, but he should be right for the picking within a lap. At this point in the next lap, I think we'll be on the back of him, and Bottas will be far enough away that he won't be able to get this DRS to help defend against us. Ricciardo 1.4, he's closing. 1.3, still needs to close. Okay, we've gone down the pit straight here, pretty much without any pushing or anything, and we've just sailed past Gasly. We should be okay, down to balanced, and we're back onto the hunt of Bottas, and up to 8th position. Danny Rick will be next in line.
Save fuel from now, please. Save fuel from now.
Okay, just cutting here. We are pressing to try to close the gap with Bottas, with Norris, with some pushing, but look, Leclerc having to pit. Probably going to put some mediums on. Hamilton having to pit. Perez having to pit. So those people that pit under the first safety car now having to pit again, including Gasly, who Ricciardo will now pass without too much fuss. Which gives us standard and balanced, which puts Norris up to 5th position. Ricciardo up to 6th. People having to pit again. I mean, Leclerc's come out on brand new mediums. Yeah, so he's gonna scythe through past us both, but nonetheless, the likes of Perez and Gasly and Latifi and Hamilton with cars in between, they're gonna have to fight their way through. I mean, and our tyres aren't massively worn. We'll see what happens, but yeah, they're going to have to fight through. This is going to be a very exciting end for those guys, but Bottas, Norris, we were trying to close that gap. Let's go back aggressive, let's go back to push.
And you can push.
We were also deploying, but yeah. Okay, Russell's pitting, as you see, just pulled off there. Pulled off into the pits, puts him to the back of the field. We've got Leclerc over the back of us. Again, a fight we don't really need to be fighting, so let him cruise on by, tuck up behind him, get some DRS for a little time if we can, and
Let's get back in the rhythm now.
just get back into the rhythm, as his engineer has just said. So, yep, 5th and 6th, looking relatively decent.
The race position.
Right, folks, nothing has happened and nothing is continuing to happen, but let's just I just thought I'd give you a bit of a look at the order so far. We've got Sainz looking good for his 3rd win on the bounce, as things currently stand. Verstappen in 2nd, 7 seconds behind. Bottas in 3rd, but for how long as Leclerc on fresher tyres is harassing the hell out of him. We've got the surprise packages once again. Norris in 5th position. We've got Ricciardo in 6th. Ocon is slowly gaining on Ricciardo, but not quick enough, I don't think, to be able to pass us before the end of the race. I'm hoping, at least. Magnussen doing well, Tsunoda benefiting from a safety car pit stop, of course. Hamilton struggling to get past. This is why a 2-stop, I said at the near the beginning, that I'm going to change Ricciardo to a 1-stop. It's so difficult to pass. You don't want to be ceding track position here, which is exactly what it was Hamilton and Russell did when they pitted under the first safety car, and thus ensured they had to pit a 2nd time. They're going to struggle. They're going to struggle to pass even us at this point, because they're not going to get past these guys very easily. Perez is also in the same boat. Gasly in the same boat. Hamilton has passed Tsunoda. He is making his way through, but all the time he's probably taking left out of his tyres to do this. I'm hoping he continues to get held up. We're riding on board Hamilton for a little bit, just to see how he fares down this straight. Okay. We need these guys to hold him up a little bit, don't we? Because if he gets past them, then he will be on fresher tyres. Softer compound, he will probably get past us. But for the time being, all we can do is try to get through races to the end of the race as quickly as possible. So with Norris, we are conserving the tyres so that we can push with them a little bit later, if needs be, to defend against Hamilton. But we're offsetting that with a bit of engine pushing, because we'll be going slower because we're not pushing so hard on the tyres, but we'll give ourselves engine mode to offset that. Meanwhile with Ricciardo, we're pushing him but keeping him medium on the tyres to try to gap Ocon, because Ocon is gaining on us. Hamilton past Tsunoda, still behind Magnussen. That won't last too long. So that's the positions that we find ourselves in. Hamilton, our biggest threat to pushing us even further down the grid. Ocon might well also be on the back of us towards the back end of the race. So yeah, we'll cut to the action as and when that happens. Right, like 50 of 58, we're coming to the back end of this race, and Hamilton has passed Ocon and is now within a second of Daniel Ricciardo. So we have a fight on our hands to defend against Hamilton. So we're going to now go into defensive mode.
Recharge on is good.
We're going to go into defensive mode, which means we need to conserve tyres through the twisty parts of the lap and then deploy on the straighter parts, because yeah, we are going to need to defend like crazy. Now I'm debating whether to actually use the hold up of the cars option, because that'll give Lando a bit of breathing room, but I don't think we're going to do that. Debating. Right, here we go. So we're coming down. Sharp corner. So deploy, push, and aggressive
Okay, use deploy.
will hopefully be enough to defend.
Yeah, understood.
Use the pace now.
Okay, understood.
Yep, is enough on this occasion, and then he will have to do the same down this straight because it's a double DRS zone. And then harvest from here. Harvest, balanced, and
Okay,
standard.
Daniel, recharge on.
Okay, understood.
So this is going to be 6, 7 laps
Okay, keep looking
of
after the
this.
tyre.
Norris is fine. He's comfortable.
Okay,
He's
understood.
happily chilling out ahead. But for
And
us,
save fuel from now, please.
we're going to
Save
be
fuel from now.
battling our little backsides off
Yeah, confirm.
for this well, I mean, I'm hoping for the rest of this race, because if we're doing it for the rest of this race, it means we're still ahead. If he passes us, then we're going to have to switch our attention to Lando. So, it's 7 laps. We might as well watch it live, folks. We might as well watch it live. Can we stick ahead of Hamilton? We're going to watch the rest of the race looking backwards. Right, where are we on the map? It's fine, it's fine. This is the favourite passing spot of many a car, isn't it? But we're good, we're good. Coming round to the final couple of corners, which means it goes back to aggressive, push and deploy.
Let's see what pace you can do.
Okay, understood.
Still ahead, still ahead. And another burst of deployment down this straight. And back to harvest, back to balance, back to standard.
And recharge should be on.
Okay.
I mean, naturally, Lando is pulling ahead anyway. Look at that, all over the back of us. All over the back of us. I mean, this is the part of the track where he might get us if we're not careful. So look at his tyres. His tyres are fairly worn. He must have put a set of used mediums on. So actually, I mean, his tyres are still better than ours, but they're not like uber fresh. And I'm quite happy not to have. Yeah, we've got him covered here. We've got him covered here. As long as he doesn't pass us down the main straight, I'm happy that we've got him covered for the rest of the lap. Right, deploy, push, aggressive,
Use the overtake button.
Okay, cheers.
and we go again.
Okay, to push.
We go again.
Okay, understood.
6 laps to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, confirm.
And another blast of DRS down here, and then balanced and standard.
Okay, buddy, recharge on.
At
Okay.
53. Okay. Daniel Ricciardo making that car as wide as possible. Hamilton no doubt getting frustrated. He's a little bit closer here than he was in the last lap, you know. We're just going to be careful. A bit of deployment here. Might be in order. Oh, he may have got past us here. That sucks.
Yep. This is my pace.
Okay, we don't want to lose too much time.
Perhaps been a little. Well, I mean, we had to be frugal with the ERS because we haven't got a lot of it left. But that is a little bit disappointing to say the least. It puts Lando in a bit of pressure now because
5 laps to go.
5 laps, and will Hamilton make that up? Ooh. Not sure, but anyway, we're gonna. Oh, go on, Daniel! Go on! Go on! Oh, come on! Oh, fighting back against Hamilton here. Giving him as much pushing and as much deploying and as much engine mode as we possibly can. And he's absolutely not giving up without a fight. We'll give him his dues here. I think he's about past. Just about, obviously we're devoid of ERS, so he'll get us again, but it's quite nice that he's trying everything he can to make Hamilton's life as difficult as possible. Just going to give Lando... Oh, we're back past! Look at that! Right, let's go neutral and push and aggressive. See if we can hold out on the straight. And then we can harvest for the rest of the lap. Oh, no, he's back past again.
If you can, push. Yeah, confirm.
We're gaining on Norris here. Norris is now going to hopefully put his foot down for the last 4 laps.
Mercedes moved up a place.
If we could just get past Hamilton again one last time, we might be able to tell Ricciardo to hold him up. Oh, it's so tight. We're going to get another DRS burst down this straight. We should use that to our advantage here.
That was good.
Come on, out braking. Oh, we couldn't get turned in quickly enough.
Gain a position.
This is intense here. This is absolutely intense. Side by side battling. Okay, we're still in with a chance though. We're still in with a chance.
It's a race position gained for a Mercedes.
2.4 to Norris. Should be able to hold out to the end of the race. He's got the tyres, he's got the fuel. He's got a little bit of deployment left. Right, Ricciardo, there we go. More DRS down this straight. Just keeping us in touch with Hamilton. But in terms of getting back past, it might be tricky. We'll give him a bit of one last few corners of aggressive. And then we're going to have to turn this down. Yeah, Hamilton beginning to pull away now, and he is gaining on Norris, but hopefully not quick enough. 3 laps and it's over. 3 laps and it's over. That is the message. Got some action down here. 3 cars all in squabbling over 8th, 9th, and 10th. Perez out of the points. We've got Sainz, Leclerc second, Verstappen third, Bottas in 4th. Hamilton gaining on Norris. Norris out of fuel issue.
Yeah, confirm.
Standard.
Just be careful with this tyre. Confirm.
We're going to have to do some defending with Norris, I think. Hamilton is gaining quickly. Ricciardo's got enough of a buffer to Ocon to bring this home. But we want to be finishing 5th. We want every single point that we possibly can. I'm sorry about the sun shining on my face. 2 laps after we have crossed the line is all that is left of this 58 lap Grand Prix that I have watched in 1 speed for 90% of it.
2 laps to go.
An hour and a half is this recording so far. We're going to have to conserve in Norris. The fuel situation, we've let it get out of control. We have let it get out of control. We're going to give him a tack on the tyres. We're going to give him deploy on the
Lando,
final
100%
lap.
Pace, 100% pace. Cool.
If we run out of fuel before we cross the line, we're now balanced. Balanced is fine. Balanced is fine. Balanced is good. Right, Norris has to defend against Hamilton for 1 lap. For 1 lap. We're right on board Norris. We should be fine down here. Sainz crossing the line to take us into lap 58. We're not going to take our eyes off this one, folks. This is the difference between 5th and 6th. Every point matters. Engine mode, we don't have the luxury of an engine mode here. The fuel is too critical. Deploy. Overtake mode down the straight. This gives us a full deployment. Switch to deploy for the second part of this DRS area. Fuel is gone back into the red. We need to conserve here. We are on the borders of the fuel. Back to neutral. We want to make sure that we do not fall foul here. This is where Daniel Ricciardo fell foul. So going to deploy down this straight. That gives us a little bit of breathing room. The last bit of deployment will be for the final DRS zone. We've got 0.7 kilograms of fuel. Last deployment down here should pull us away. There's no other places to pass on this track. He's gaining so flipping quickly. But we are ahead. There's no more passing spots here.
And Sainz crosses the line first. He's taken the win.
That's 3 in a row for Sainz. 3 in a row for Ferrari. A 1-2. But here's Lando Norris crossing the line in P5. Safety cars again have caused a bit of a shake-up on the grid, and the McLaren boys were there to pounce on the strategy calls. And a 7th position for Ricciardo. Another good day in the office. 5th and 7th. So, as I said, Sainz, 3rd win on the spin. Charles Leclerc, 2nd with the fastest lap. Strategy calls questionable for him. Verstappen in 3rd. Bottas in 4th, making up for his disappointing Saudi Arabia losing spots in the race, gaining spots here to finish ahead of both of the Mercedes. Lando finishing in 5th, of course. Lewis, bad strategy calls in my opinion there. Put him down into 6th. He should have been on the podium with the right calls, potentially. Ricciardo in 7th. Russell in 8th. Ocon 9th. And Kevin Magnussen getting the last points scoring position. Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. A very bad day in the office there. And Fernando Alonso, of course, retiring with Joe after some incidents. The drivers' standings look a little like this. 24 points ahead. Almost a full race victory for Carlos Sainz. Of course, very long way to go in the season. But you can hold your hands up and say a damn good start. 3 from 3 and 1 fastest lap, meaning 76 points is his total. Leclerc in 2nd. Verstappen, he's got some work to do, hasn't he? He's got some work to do. Those Ferraris looking pretty quick so far this season. Some development work for the Red Bull to get Max back towards the top there. Lewis Hamilton in 4th. Perez in 5th, what I think. Look like that. Lando Norris dropping up a place, but 20 points, very healthy in a car that isn't in the top half of the field. So extracting maximum performance out of it so far. Ricciardo in 9th. Russell all the way down in 8th. So in the Constructors' title, Ferrari, top of the tree by a long way so far. Looking unstoppable right now. Red Bull 2nd, Mercedes 3rd, and McLaren consolidating in 4th. Pretty good indeed. Pretty good indeed. We've got Alpine there, and of course the rest of them. Aston Martin and Williams, only 2 teams with 0 points at this moment in time. And of course, our drivers halving our income because of that damn bonus clause in their contracts. But hey, you can't say they haven't deserved it, can you? So we've got FIA regulation minor technical changes. So throughout the season, we look at what's going to change from a technical standpoint, from a sporting standpoint, from a financial standpoint at various stages in the season. So this is the technical change. So let's have a look at what some of these changes do. So the first change is going to decrease the low speed wing changes. So we're looking at the front and rear wings affecting the low speed most. Now, our strength is our high speed, so we really wouldn't want to vote in for a regulation that takes a big downforce hit to the high speed. So we're going to vote for the low speed wing changes because the low speed is our weakness anyway. So yeah, wanting the high speed to be affected as less as possible. So this is a wing change for next season. So let's vote for that and see what the result will be in due course, and that will also determine how we carry out our research and our development for the rest of the season, because we will have to negate that decrease in our expertise of those wings. So we are currently now exceeding expectations, apparently. Let's have a look at the ball confidence. Yeah, they're still medium, but 3 races in, I'm sure that they're deep down. They are absolutely ecstatic with Potter's escapades. But yes, there we go, folks. So Cars Park Development, our new front wing will be available in 13 days' time, which will not give us enough time to have them in place for Imola, but will be in place for Miami. Interesting. But anyway, there you go, folks. Another brilliant result, and onwards and upwards to Imola, a good old classic track, but also one that's difficult to pass on. But anyway, until next time, see you soon.